Jonathan Lee Riches investigates. Let's talk about Bryan Kohberger's barber. Hairstylist. Rose Perez. Powers Barbershop. Pullman, Washington. Bryan Kohberger's barber, hairstylist, whatever you want to call them, came out on the record and spoke about her encounter with Bryan Kohberger. Check it out.
Bryan Kohberger was one of my regulars. I've been cutting his hair since July. And the first time I was ever contacted by Bryan was through voicemail.
Hi, my name is Bryan. Would you be able to give me a haircut tomorrow by any chance?
My last appointment with him was December 2nd at 1:45 p.m. It's crazy to find out I interacted with this person. I touched this person's hair. I made this person look and feel good about themselves.
Powers Barbershop. Bryan Kohberger was in that area, she said, July 2022. That's the first person I've heard that actually said that they had an encounter with Bryan before August, before his work at Washington State University. So, according to Rose Perez, Bryan was there at least in July. So, let's talk about Bryan Kohberger's barber. I actually went to her Instagram. Check it out. This is the public Instagram profile of Rose Perez, who went on the record and said she was Bryan Kohberger's barber, hairstylist. Rose Perez, barber, independent barber at Powers Barbershop in Pullman, Washington. And on her Instagram, she has lots of photos of people's hairs getting cut, haircuts, hair. A lot of men. She cuts a lot of men's hair. There's also females there too. I was looking around to see if Bryan Kohberger was on there, but I didn't see it. She also publicly identifies herself as a nail artist that does nails. So she does nails and hair. Washington, Idaho, licensed Rose Perez, the barber of Bryan Kohberger. So she advertises her business on her Instagram. And I also want to show you the distance between Bryan Kohberger's Steptoe Apartments and Powers Barbershop. This is Google Maps. Going to show you the distance between the Steptoe Apartments where Bryan Kohberger lived. This is the apartment where authorities went in with a search warrant and seized property belonging to him. And this is the distance to Powers Barbershop, where Bryan Kohberger would get his hair cut by Rose Perez. You can see the distance between these two at 1.7 miles. One thing I would like to share with everyone here is in between this distance, right here I noticed, look at this, Supercuts, which is another place where you can get your haircuts. Very, very close to Bryan Kohberger's Steptoe Apartments. But instead of going to Supercuts, he chose to go down here to Powers Barbershop. Interesting. Another thing, right here, Jack in the Box. And I made a video about Jack in the Box, possibly Xana getting her food delivery to her home, 4 a.m. Jack in the Box bag found inside her home at the crime scene. But you see the distance, 1.7 miles in between. Definitely another barbershop in between. Why did he choose Powers Barbershop and Rose Perez to cut his hair? And notice there was another Supercuts, another hairstylist place in between, but he chose her. Why did he choose to go to Powers Barbershop? Rose Perez. Why did he want Rose Perez to cut his hair? I actually sent her out a message and asked, no response at this time. But I'm wondering, was he eyeing her because she had been a potential victim. That's what I asked her. You know, he wanted a female to cut his hair. He chose Powers Barbershop. She said, you know, she was cutting his hair all the way through December. December after the murders happened. Retracing the steps of Bryan Kohberger. What's your thoughts on all this? What's your thoughts on Bryan Kohberger getting a haircut with Rose Perez? Subscribe to my channel, like, hit the notification button. I am covering this case, retracing the steps of Bryan Kohberger. Why did he do it? Why did he victimize these 4 innocent college students? Praying for their family, praying for the community of Moscow. I do think authorities have their person. There is people out there that don't think that, though, but I do. Reading the affidavit of probable cause, I think it's very powerful, strong evidence. But what else was Bryan doing in that area? And why did he choose to come to Pullman, Moscow area, all the way from Pennsylvania? Still don't know that answer. Still digging in. I'll be posting more Bryan Kohberger videos soon. Everyone stay tuned. Stay safe. God bless.